During the fall and winter, thousands of football, hockey, and basketball fans fill into stadiums and arenas around the country to cheer on their favorite college sports teams and see them battle it out on their respective playing fields. From Death Valley to the Big House, and from Spartan Stadium to the Breslin Center, the stands are filled and fans cheer on their favorite teams. On game day, a university can make thousands of dollars from ticket sales, concession sales, and souvenirs. Out of all the money that the university generates from the major college sports, the athletes themselves receive none of it. Not one single penny goes to the athletes. Fans buy the jerseys of their favorite players and buy tickets to watch the games which the athletes put on. Why shouldn't the athletes get some percentage of the university's revenue when the fans are coming to watch them? When former UConn guard Shabazz Napier was asked about college athletes potentially receiving payment for playing in their sports, this is what he had to say.
That's kind of great. Good for them. At the end of the day, to certain points, we as student athletes, get utilized for what we do so well, and we definitely, we're definitely best to get a scholarship to our universities. But at the end of the day, that doesn't cover everything. We do have hungry nights that we don't have enough money to get food, and sometimes, needed money is needed. But I don't think you should stretch it out to hundreds of thousands of dollars for players, because that's not, a lot of times guys don't know how to handle themselves for money. But I think Northwestern has an idea, and let's see where it goes.
Another story was published by CBS back in 2014 where former Ole Miss quarterback Bo Wallace agreed with Shabazz Napier, saying he's seen teammates struggle to pay for dinner and ended up going to bed hungry. According to Bo, a lot of guys go to bed hungry at night. That's real. We have our breakfast and lunch, our cafe is open, so you can go and swipe your card, but dinner you have to pay for it. We need more compensation for that just to be able to survive. If I didn't have my parents, I don't know what I would do. A lot of these kids don't have the same things that I have. I know that their struggle is something terrible. Since this report was published in 2014, there have been minor changes in the meals that colleges can provide to students. It's not like these athletes can get a job. They have practice pretty much year-round and have school to focus on as well. Another issue is many of these athletes are required to wear suits while traveling to road games or during media days. How are some of these athletes supposed to pay for all of these items if they are unable to get a job and they have no help from home? Some colleges have funds set aside to help athletes with these costs, however, not enough for every single player. I believe that athletes participating in football, men's and women's basketball, and hockey should receive a percentage of their sports revenue. As shown by the graph, football is the number one revenue generator, followed by men's basketball, men's ice hockey, then women's basketball. These four sports generate the most money and are the most popular. This is why I believe these athletes should receive a percentage of their sports revenue. With this money, the athletes can use it to buy food, clothes, and whatever else they may need. Some people argue that these athletes receive a full ride scholarship, and that's enough, but in my opinion, it's not. The scholarships only cover room and board, classes, and food only when the dining halls are open. If the dining halls are closed, the athletes have nowhere to eat, and the scholarship certainly doesn't give them money for clothes. Athletes are left to purchase this all on their own. Some may have help from home, but some may not. With just a small percentage of their revenue, colleges can ensure that athletes are able to support themselves well in college. After all, these athletes are spending countless hours on the field preparing to put on a show for the fans. A study published by Business Insider shows the top 25 athletic revenue-generating colleges in America. Atop the list sits Texas A&M. Texas A&M generates $192.6 million each athletic year. They receive $57.9 million from football, $8.6 million from men's basketball, and $1.5 million from women's basketball. They also receive $47 million in licensing agreements and $92.1 million in athletic donations. Michigan places fourth on the list, generating a total of $152.5 million, $87 million from football, $14.2 million from men's basketball, and $0.3 million from women's basketball, $58.1 million in licensing agreements, and $35.7 million from athletic donations. Meanwhile, Michigan State places 19th on the list, generating $108.7 million altogether. They receive $53.3 million from football, $18.2 million from men's basketball, and $0.8 million from women's basketball. They also receive $48.2 million from licensing agreements and $26.4 million in donations. If schools just gave a portion of their sports revenue to athletes, it would make a huge difference. After all, without the athletes, arenas and stadiums across the country would sit empty. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, but a little can make a huge difference in some of these athletes' lives.